I believe that one of the highest forms of confidence you can have and one of the most attractive traits in a person is vulnerability. Vulnerability. I feel like from such a young age, everyone is taught the opposite, not to be vulnerable, to suppress their emotions. I know that growing up as a girl, I can definitely speak on that. I don't know the experience of men, but I think that it's probably even more for them. And I really want to make this video to speak mostly on how women operate because I don't really know about men. I can't really tap into that. And I think in some ways it is very important for them to be the more strong, grounded figure. But I think when it comes with women, as girls, it's really important for us to be vulnerable. And it's our superpower, really. It's so amazing. It shows the utmost amount of confidence, I feel. And I've just been embracing it more and more throughout my life. So, with my story, growing up, you're a child. You cry naturally. When something hurts you, ow, you say ow. You start crying. When your feelings are hurt, you cry. This is just how it naturally goes when you're a kid. But with my experience, I was told to definitely shove my feelings down a lot. I was actually like the really sensitive daughter, and it was a little bit too much for my parents to handle, or they just didn't have the capacity at the time. Which I'm not making any of these videos to say, oh, this is so bad, feel bad for me, I've had it so awful. This is just genuinely my experience and the conclusion that it's led me to later on in my life. And I'm just documenting basically like my personal thoughts and realizations. That's all I'm trying to do here, okay? So, yeah. Growing up, I was told that my emotions were too much. I was made fun of constantly for crying or showing emotions and told to, like, seriously just shut up and go in a different room. And if I were, like, crying in that room still, they'd be like, shut up. And, you know how that goes. So as I grew older, I just started turning more and more into a robot. I started turning more into like a person basically seemingly without emotions. I wouldn't express myself. This brought me into some tragic situations in my next relationships where people couldn't really actually get to know me, and I couldn't even get to know myself because the mask was so strong of like, you need to be happy all the time and don't show this true emotion. It's a weakness, it's pathetic, and no one wants to hear about it. Like, shut up. No one wants to hear about it, right? So subconsciously, this stuck with me throughout my life, and it was so exhausting at one point, and it just kept my relationships honestly stagnant. Because when you're with someone and they can't express what they think, even about the most simple of things, or get you to like put effort into the relationship, it seems, because you're too busy being stoic or, whatever, it just leads people to feeling like there's a wall between you and they can't really get to know you. I've been on both sides of this, the relationship where I'm the one acting that way, and I'm like, man, I wish I could express more, but this is just how it is. And I've been on the side too where I'm like, do you not care? What the hell? Like, come on, this is ridiculous. So either side doesn't feel too good, and personally, it just feels so much better being able to express. Like, on both sides, it'll feel better. And I'm not saying that you need to go out and tell everyone everything, your trauma and everything, but at the same time, it's like I shouldn't even be apologizing for just saying that this is my story and things that I've learned. It just is that, okay? So, yeah, we're taught to suppress our feelings, and we shouldn't have to. We really shouldn't have to. That's how shit gets stuck in our body. That's why I love journals, and that's why I think I've loved it since a very young age. Because I'm like, you know what? At least if I can't express it out loud to other people and I'm just going to be made fun of, whatever, I'll write all my feelings in my fucking journal. Like, I need to get rid of this out of my mind, at least somehow. So, journaling has been the number one thing that has helped with that. And besides that, just practicing being more present about my thoughts, my beliefs, and what I want in relationships. Because just going along with everything, at some point you're like, dude, I'm acting fake. This person's fake. I can't get to know them. This feels like it's going nowhere. We're running into a fucking wall at this point. And you know, you just realize like there's no time for that. There's not enough time on earth to be dealing with people like this and to have yourself feeling like this too. So yeah, I personally think vulnerability is like the highest form of confidence, like I'm saying. Because if you're confident enough to be like, okay, I've been raised up in this world where everyone's programmed to be robots, not speak their actual feelings, and then just expect everything to flow and work out. No, if you can speak with confidence and like declare what you actually think, this is what I think. If you don't like it, then maybe it's not meant to be, or maybe we can work something out. I think that's so much better because you're not just like leaving people to guess, making yourself guess, and it's very confident actually because you're expressing what you really feel. You're basically telling yourself every time that you start to do this, every time you start expressing, hey, that's not okay. Hey, I don't like this. Oh, hey, I really like this. Either way that you want to express, when you start doing that fully in all moments, at least like in a respectful way, right? At all moments, if you're able to do this, you just come to a space where you feel like you're living more freely and you feel like more authentic, more in your body. People are getting to know the real you and you're showing yourself, my feelings matter enough that I get to be me. And if other people don't like it, then that's okay and totally understandable. We don't all, like, we're not all gonna like each other, but at least I'm being real, you know, about who I'm being. So yeah, I think vulnerability is amazing. The most attractive people I meet are super vulnerable. They're the ones I can have conversations where things are just in the open and there's not a weird feeling about it. It's not like, oh, I'm worried I'm being too much or something. It's wonderful. I've had a friend like this. I can think of one case where I was just crying. I had the worst day. I was tired of keeping it in and I just let it out. I was like, this is not cool. Just crying. And I felt embarrassed too. I was like, oh, this is embarrassing. I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. And he just hugged me and said, like, it's okay. I think it's kind of sweet that you're crying. It shows you care. And it's true. I think it's nice. When people show emotion, it shows that they care. And yeah, it's just nice. I mean, I just stand by people that can be vulnerable. And there's not a time when someone's acting vulnerable that I'm like, oh, shut up. Like, that's too much. The only time is when it's clearly manipulation, and that's like a whole different frequency that you can just, you know, when it's that. But if you're just being open and vulnerable, what is there to lose? I think it's so amazing, and I think it's just sad that we're programmed to look away from our natural essence of acting this way, expressing what we want to express and being who we want to be. And I think we need to be like that more. I'm making this video for myself too, to remind me that it's very sexy to be vulnerable, and that's how I want to live my life. I want to be vulnerable, and I just want to speak my mind and be who I am.